Hi folks, this is Professor Kent Schwitkus again, talking to you in regards to the elevator talk. Now, in Astronomy 20, this online class that we have, we're going to be hopefully talking to each other and for you guys to talk to your peers. So not only are you going to be talking to your peers, but also to me. So one of the things I'd like to get done with very quickly is to remove this notion that we are strangers. And so the best way to do that is through this mechanism. And the scenario goes like this. Imagine that you have applied to a job and that you're going to an interview. Now, this interview is on the 10th floor of some high-rise downtown, and you meet your contact in the lobby of the building. And during the elevator ride up, you are discussing with your contact various aspects of the company. So during this period of time, you are actually getting some information from your contact person, and you're providing, hopefully, a good impression of yourself. Because after all, once you get into the interview room, you are now out of control. You have no control whatsoever about what questions are being asked. And at least for the ones I've been with lately, I have had no idea if they understood my answers. I could not prompt them for answers. If I asked a question, they would then respond with the question again that was typed in front of them. And I got no additional information. And again, I could not figure out if they understood what I was trying to say. So that being said, I was totally out of control. I had no control whatsoever about my life, and I don't think, and I'd imagine that you don't like that either. So it is during those few minutes during the elevator ride where one can actually find out some information. And that is what I'm after from you. Here are some questions that hopefully will elicit some responses from you. And the output of this is to write in the discussion session about the elevator talk your responses. So take some time looking at these ideas here, and I'll provide you an elevator talk about me in just a moment. So basically, the elevator talk doesn't include things that are sort of obvious to everybody, like I want to be successful, I want to make a lot of money, I want to get a house, I want to support my family, things like that. I mean, after all, the opposite rarely comes up. Basically I want to be poor, I want to live on the curb, I want to be a drunkard, those are my aspirations in life. And typically you don't hear that. So one of the things I would be interested in is what makes you unique? What is your passion? You must have something you like to do. You must be, if you will, an expert at something. Even though generally I would suspect that those people taking this class are young, I would still suspect that you are an expert and you enjoy doing something. Please let us know what that is. And again, using the journalistic questions, why are you passionate about this topic? How have you become interested in this topic? What is your goal in regards to this topic? Develop all of these ideas and you will be really ahead of the game. All right, now obviously we can't interview a neighbor because we're not in a face-to-face class. But one thing that you can do is respond to your peers in the discussion section. So you can probe and ask more deeper questions. You can share things in your life that are connected to this person's life. And that is where we'll go. Okay, so here's an example. Yeah, I like to play. What an obvious kind of statement. I hate working. Um, Now, lately, as it says here, and by the way, I probably have 2 or 3 resumes, one associated with teaching, one associated with system engineering, one associated with physics, and one associated with backcountry hiking and leadership positions there. So, there are several facets to me, and this is just the highlights. Okay, so yeah, I want to play, I want to make a difference, I like doing new things, I like to solve hard puzzles. And those are sort of general topics. But if we go to the next layer, the hard puzzles, for me, seem to include rock climbing, teaching, doing science, hiking, tracking. And when I mean tracking, I'm actually looking at footprints on the ground and seeing and trying to understand what the critter was doing or how the critter was moving or what kind of critter it was. And sometimes I've had to use this associated with people as well. I've had a couple of people get lost on a trip and I had to actually go and try to find them. In science, it's just really wonderful to try to figure out the puzzle. And climbing, if you get it wrong, you know immediately. Now, there is an associated type of puzzle which is called orienteering, which is sort of, some people would, when they do it for the first time, they sort of mistake it for map and compass. That isn't, orienteering is quite the puzzle. But climbing and orienteering are really puzzles which really test me to a large degree. So as I always have a book to read, I think in one of these versions of this elevator talk, I've put on a list of the books I've read. Let's see if it's here. Yeah, this is in December 2015, the books I was reading at that time. And now it being 2017, in January, I've been reading, I continuously read. And basically, I always have a book in my hand. Now, it's not a paperback or a textbook or something like that. It's a Kindle, which all these things are in it, or my computer, or a laptop, or something like that that has books in electronic format. Although I do like turning pages of a real hard copy or real paper copy book. I've got 4 kids. I know, yes, where they come from. One is a climbing bum, works at the climbing gym, and is ski boards and has been snowboarding for as long as I've been skiing, and that's only been about 6 years so far. At one time, I had all 4 of my kids working in the climbing gym together, which was, I wish I had a picture of that. But so much for that. Anyway, it was just really neat to have them all at one place and all doing something I love to do. I'm very much of an outdoors person, as I spoke to before. It's very hard to get me during the weekends. I'm always doing something, it seems. We're thinking of doing Baldy soon to get practiced. So, we always have this. I have this desire to climbing all the 14,000-foot peaks in California. And one of them is Shasta, and I want to do Rainier. I've already tried Rainier and Shasta. Didn't get very far. I've climbed Mount Whitney about half a dozen to 10 times. I've slept on it once. Done White Mountain, Mount Muir, Langley a couple times. I've climbed all the 100 peak section peaks in Southern California, everything that's over 5,000 feet high. Doing a 20-mile hike is something I've, don't feel qualms about. It might take all day to do, but I've done that quite a few times. And I've been involved in Sierra Club, as it says there, and one of the major things I've done with them, besides being involved in organizing various activities and um, helping run the organization, is I was able to help forestall development on Tejon Ranch, which is up by Fraser Park. That was a really big deal. I didn't do it by myself. I had lots of people helping me, but that was an amazing place. And every once in a while, I was able to go up there and lead trips, Sierra Club trips. But let me remind you, or if you don't already know, that all Sierra Club trips are open to the public. So, people can go up there and do that. I've been doing first aid since about 2000, when I first became a leader for the Sierra Club. I'm effectively a emergency medical technician, and of late I've basically got signed off on being able to teach outdoor emergency care, which is the Ski Patrol's version of EMT Basic. Teaching is a second career for me. My first career, when I got done with doing physics, was helping build and take care of satellite payloads for the government and for commercial entities. If you're using DirecTV, I've tested units on some of those spacecraft, and I designed the payload for one of the Anik spacecraft and some other ones for mainland China or for Hong Kong. So I've been around with some of those things, and physics was the means to learn all the skills in order to do that. Physics is really a good, a good source of study in order to pick up a lot of really good skills. Mathematics, critical thinking, computer programming, working in a large collaboration, politicking, if you will, and writing, and reading, learning how to read quickly. The first measurement I did for my dissertation was new knowledge, and what's really pretty amazing, and I have written there, is it is getting cited every year, and it's up to about 100 different citations so far, this measurement that I did many years ago. So it's you could say that I don't have to do anything else in my life, and every time I see that it's still getting referenced by other people, I feel a little pat on my back saying, Schwitkus, you did a good job. I hope sincerely that you get that feeling. It is a tremendous feeling to have. And I wouldn't say that I am outstanding in physics by a long shot. And my hope is that by learning astronomy and physics the way I am, because of you guys asking questions, perhaps I'll be able to start publishing again. I haven't published anything for quite a long time, at least in terms of physics, but I have some ideas for at least for education research that might be useful. At any rate, so I have had a rather lengthy life so far. I hope it will continue. There are a lot of things on my bucket list, like climbing El Capitan. But so far I can speak, and I can continue speaking for quite a while. But I will end it here just because it gives you an idea of what I was after in the elevator talk. So hopefully you'll come up with something new and interesting for me to respond to, and certainly for your peers to respond to. Okay, thank you very much.